Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa and your host, Greg Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the Dementia Care Partners podcast series brought to you by Positive Approach to Care. I'm your host, Greg Phelps, along with Teepa. And Teepa, I'm going to combine a couple of topics sent in by our podcast listeners. The first one, how do you manage challenging situations? And then how do you know when a loved one is reaching the later stages? And by the later stages, I mean, I think what they're trying to say is that what the end is in sight, or, I don't want to sound crass.
Or do you think it's the end is in sight, or they need physical assist for almost everything?
So maybe we can just sort of cover a little bit of both those.
Okay, yeah. So
challenging situations. Well, they're all challenging at a certain point.
Yeah. So I like that it was a challenging situation rather than they have a challenging behavior, because what that says is, okay, the person does recognize that it's a situation where the person who's in having some challenges is also in a situation that's challenging. So, here's the thing. We have a person who has a story and a history and habits and behaviors and preferences, but we also know that that person is changing, and the person is changing because they have brain conditions that are dementia, but they might also have depression or anxiety or a delirium. And we know that they may have more than one dementia, not just one dementia. And then on top of that, they have a body. And this body is also being impacted by the person's dementia, but it could also be impacted by other physical health issues, or maybe it's impacted by mental health issues, and they could be old ones or new ones, or they could be impacted by sensory changes, like vision changes, like cataracts or glaucoma, or maybe just glare sensitivity, or the inability to go from light to dark, dark to light, like you used to. Or maybe you have a hearing problem, or you have peripheral neuropathies from your diabetes, or a stroke, and you have no movement in an arm. So we have that side of the street, which sort of basically talks about the human being and what they're bringing to the table. So when there's a challenging situation, really understanding that person and who they've been and what's happening to their brain and what else is going on around them for them. And then we need to add in what they're taking in for fuel and fluid and medications, because those can make a difference. And once I understand all that and sort of take that into account, then I need to look at myself and my abilities and my understanding and everybody else around the person, because I don't operate in a vacuum, and neither does a person living with dementia. So, hey, Greg, when you have to go to the bathroom, okay, you got to pee. Let's be blunt. You got to pee. Can you just unzip and go urinate somewhere, pretty much?
Well, back when I was a logger, that was socially acceptable, but probably not where I'm living currently.
Not where you're living currently, but you'd still be able to unzip and go somewhere.
That's doable.
Yeah. So for me, I have to take my clothes off a bit. It actually takes a bit more for me to do that than it does for you. So now, which of the two of us do you think is most likely to get up in the living room, be a little turned around, feel like we need to go to the bathroom, and go to the corner and go?
Well, especially if there's a plant there, I might sort of go back to my logging days. Well, there we
go. Well, you told me you were a logger, and so you go back. So now what I'm thinking is, okay, so what could I do? So, I could fuss at Greg and say, oh, Greg, no. But all that's liable to do is get Greg upset with me, because the challenge is that Greg's brain is telling him fake information. I could try to jump and go, oh, Greg, come with me. Let's go out to another plant. But I'd have to be quick on my feet, because
my midstream control might not be too good.
Yeah. So, we're teasing a little bit, but the reality is that's what people try. I wish I was just teasing and playing with you, but people will try, oh, Greg, no, but he's already going. It's a little bit late. Now, what we could do is start thinking about, okay, my reaction when I see Greg start to get up off the couch, I could go, oh, Greg Phelps, exactly who I was looking for. And he goes, I got to go. And I go, well, come on, because I need you to go with me, by the way, which is a very different skill than, oh, Greg, no. But we might instead go, oh, okay, who's putting the plants in the corners? And maybe we should put a trash can over there. And maybe we should put kitty litter in it with a liner for right now, because until I figure out something, I'd rather he pee in the trash can with a liner with kitty litter than I would pee in the plant that has the artificial stuff, because it's a fake plant and it's the corner, or peeing in the air conditioning unit in front of the window, because for some reason, that's always where the architects put them. And yet guys have peed outside a lot. So I'm using this urination thing with guys as an example. But I also
of just any thousands of situations.
But here's the last one. Who could keep track of when Greg last went?
Not Greg.
Not Greg. I think we established that. So who has to now be thinking, it's been a while. I've seen Greg sitting here for a good bit. Oh, hey, Greg, listen, could you do me a big favor? Just about 15 minutes before it's time. So who's using her brain, her abilities, timing, and the environment and a task to cue Greg, let's leave this space, so that now what don't we have?
Taking away the temptation for me.
Yeah, I'm going to call it an episode of this stuff, because do I need to do a lot of work though? Yeah. Is it hard? Yeah. Am I going to make mistakes? Yeah. Is Greg going to make mistakes? Yeah. That's why it's called a challenging situation.
And speaking of challenging situations, we're fighting the clock here, Teepa, because we're also supposed to talk briefly about knowing when a loved one is reaching later stages.
Yeah. So, okay, so let's go back to our puzzle pieces real quick here. And let's go, okay, so now we're in a part of the disease where no matter what I do, the brain is really badly damaged. So we fix a UTI, we change the medications, give them something for the UTI. What happens in 2 weeks if we're not careful?
Yeah, back again.
It comes back again. We hydrate them. We work really hard. We use an IV and we hydrate them. And what happens within 3 weeks? They're dried out again, and we have to look at what we're going to do again. Because what we're seeing is, although we can fix the bits, maybe the pieces over and over, what we can't do is change dementia. And so at some point, we need to bring all of us together and say, I think it's time to look at comfort care. And comfort care means we're going to quit using the antibiotics that then cause dehydration, which then cause, they cause the problem with diarrhea, which then causes dehydration, but it also causes raw skin, which means then I have to, or they get C. diff. And this cascade of events is a signal. And so we're looking for signals of repeating patterns where we try to fix something. We try to do the thing that solved the challenge. And what we find is we got the challenge back again. And when that's the case, it's time to go, okay, maybe it's time to change the kind of care we're doing, from trying to fix the bits and pieces to here the solution is, let's provide comfort, because it's time to let someone go home. It's time to quit the fight and start really providing the support that somebody needs to stop eating, to stop drinking. Now, this is where you have to do your advanced work, because when I say words like that, people go, but she'll be starving to death. She'll be dying of thirst. And it's like, no, not actually. What we know is when the system closes down shop in a reasonable fashion, it actually is more capable of doing this than we thought. What we have a hard time doing is not seeing ourselves in that bed and thinking, I would be hungry and I would be thirsty. It's like, well, you would, because you're not where she is. So learning that new way of being is a whole nother learning curve that people rarely do ahead of time. And so in the moment, it feels like giving up, not letting go. And there's a big difference.
Teepa, we've talked about two situations, and both of them really deserve an awful lot of attention. Where can people get more information on this? Are you offering courses on either of these or both of these? They're not combined because I don't think you could.
Yeah, no, you can't. I mean, the more you try to combine them, it would just take too much time, effort, energy, and it's two different focus areas, really and truly. So, what I would say is, yes, we have some DVDs if you're just looking for awareness and knowledge. We also do some sessions with people. Either we have it as part of our Care Partner Support Series, because we know that it's a long haul. And so, talking about this a little bit more. And we also have consults where we work with people, but we have what we call mentor sessions, where you could get time with a mentor who's familiar with challenging situations to go through this with you. Or we have skill building sessions. And we have a good bit at different points along the journey of dementia, because it turns out there are challenges all along the way.
Teepa, thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
You've been listening to the Dementia Care Partners podcast, brought to you by Positive Approach to Care. If you'd like more information relating to dementia, simply Google teepasnow.com.